Hello there, just in time for NTV at One. My name is Trevor Ombija. We start off on a sad note here. 12 people, among them a minor, died this morning in a road accident involving a bus and a trailer along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway at Gilgil. Survivors on board the bus blame the driver for the accident. He was among the 11 people who died on the spot. They've accused him of causing the accident by overtaking carelessly and speeding. 25 persons who were injured in the accident were rushed to the Gilgil Sub-County Hospital before 11 of the more critically injured were transferred to the Rift Valley Provincial General Hospital.
A group of mourners were among those killed when the bus they were traveling in collided with a trailer along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway at Sogea. 11 persons, including the bus driver, died on the spot, while a 12th died while receiving treatment at the Gilgil Sub-County Hospital. 25 persons were injured in the accident, with 11 of those seriously injured transferred to the Rift Valley Provincial General Hospital. Those who survived the accident say the driver of the Nairobi-bound bus that set off from Vihiga was at fault as he was attempting to overtake when the accident occurred.
Huyu alikuwa na lazima kuwavati. Sasa ile nafasi ndio ikawa iko ndogo. Huyu jamaa ndio sasa alipoona huyu vile ambaye anavyokuja, si akashuka. Huyu alifanya kushuka, akashuka paka chini. Sasa si ndio hii kona sasa si mpaka tayari iko ndio ikaja kushika hii gari. Sasa ndio ikawa ni hivyo hivyo.
Nikasikia kama usingizi kidogo, kushtukia nisikia tu gari zikikora sana. But nzuri, I was on the left hand side of the bus. Na watu ambao walikuwa on the right hand side wamekufa wengi sana.
The remains of those killed in the accident have been collected and taken to the Gilgil mortuary, with the wrecks towed to the Gilgil police station.
Meanwhile, family and friends are gathering at the Gilgil Sub-County Hospital mortuary, where a post-mortem examination is currently being carried out. NTV's Sharon Baranga is joining us live from Gilgil. Sharon, good afternoon. What more do we know?
Good afternoon, Trevor. Right now we are at Gilgil Sub-County Hospital, where we have some family and friends waiting to transport some of the bodies to Nairobi. Now, currently a post-mortem is happening, and of the 12 people who died, 11 died on the spot and 1 died while receiving treatment in hospital. The victims of the accident were on board a bus from Climax Coaches Company that left Mbale town at around 2 p.m. and we understand that the bus had several stops along the way. Now, of the 12 people who died, 5 are members of the African Divine Church, and they had traveled to Vihiga to bury one of their own. And right now I'm joined by Barnabas, who's a relative to one of the people who lost their lives. Karibu Barnabas. Unaweza anza na kujitambulisha kisha utueleze mlijua ajali imefanyika kivipi na saa ngapi?
Majina yangu naitwa Barnabas Shoso, na simu ya kwanza tulipokea ilikuwa saa 8, alafu simu ya pili ilikuwa saa 9. Tulikuwa Nairobi Kangemi. So tulifanya hatua ya kukuja na pikipiki mpaka hapa Gilgil, kwetu tukapata Evelyn Ayuko, tuko na basi, tuko na nyewe kweli hiyo accident ilikuwa mbaya sana. Watu wengi wameumia, hatuwezi penda kuona. But kwa yote tuna wengine tunaweza sema zaidi ya hiyo.
Umempoteza nani?
Nimepoteza shemeji yangu anaitwa Evelyn. So tuko naye hapa, tunataka tupange tutapeka Nairobi tena. Yeah.
Asante sana Barnabas. That was Barnabas, a relative to one of the people who died in the accident. Earlier we had talked to the OCPD, the area OCPD, Emmanuel Opuru, who said that the driver of the bus was trying to overtake another vehicle before colliding with an oncoming truck that was coming from the opposite direction. Back to you, Trevor.
Well, Sharon, there's been a bit of concern from some of the people there saying that the driver, who's now also slain, may be to blame for this. Are you getting the same sentiments from the people on the ground, whether the driver was the one who was speeding at the time?
Yeah, we've received such reports. There is a victim at currently receiving treatment at Nakuru Level 4 Hospital who says that they were complaining on the speed at which the bus was being driven, and it is quite unfortunate that when they reached Gilgil along the Nakuru-Naivasha highway, then the accident happened.
Describe to us that area. Is it a black spot per se?
Pardon, Trevor?
Sharon, just describe to us the area where the accident occurred. So Sogea area, is it a black spot?
Yeah, the area, from what I understand from the OCPD, the area is a black spot. In fact, if you visit the Gilgil police station, you'll find that there are a number of vehicles that have been towed from the area after they were involved in an accident.
All right, thanks, Sharon. Of course, our condolences goes out to the family and friends of all those who lost their loved ones in that accident along that road there. The police is saying that the driver may have been speeding at the time, but right now postmortem results are being done and the families are collecting their family members who passed on in that fatal road crash in the morning. In the meantime, there's more we are following up for you. Journalist Jackie Maribe is currently in police custody. She's being held in connection with the murder of Monica Kimani, who was found killed in her apartment in Nairobi's Kilimani area. Now, the main suspect, Joe Irungu, is currently being held by police for 10 days. Seth Olale has been following the details for that, and we understand there's a hideout where this key suspect, Joe Irungu, was hiding out in Buruburu before the arrest there. Seth, we understand that the detectives who have cordoned off the area, have you managed to reach there?
Well, thank you so much, Trevor Ombija. At least we've narrowed down to Buruburu Phase 3, where, according to detectives, they believe that the main suspect in this particular incident or offense, Joseph Irungu, alias Joey, had a safe house. But according to residents in Buruburu and in particular Phase 3, very little information about him. And we just spoke to some of the traders who had some shops around here, and they told us that it would be so hard to actually even just notice what kind of a man Joseph Irungu was, if at all they ever met or even saw him or heard about him. We spoke also to a security guard who's managing one of the courts here in Buruburu Phase 3. He's been here since 1997, and he's told us that he has never come across him, we've never heard about him. And so maybe it just tells you about another chapter of James Irungu's disclosure in secret life, if you want, and because there's so much little information in regards to his whereabouts, because what was actually on social media and what was allegedly reported is that he at one particular point was seen at this particular area, and he used to operate a safe house. Nobody had any idea of what he was doing inside there, and this is some of the leads that detectives are following up on, and we're meant to understand that at this particular place here at the Phase 3 in Buruburu, earlier on detectives managed to come and they were searching for more evidence in terms of the particular safe house where it is located, even as they continue with their investigations. Trevor.
All right, Seth. Thanks for that update. That's Seth Olale speaking to us live from Buruburu, where we understand that there's a probe, there's a search of the house where Joe Irungu, the main suspect, used as a hideout before his arrest. This coming at a time when journalist Jackie Maribe is also being held by police, and she will be arraigned in court on Monday. Away from that, farmers in Taita Taveta formulated new ways of keeping elephants from their farms. Numerous raids by jumbos on farms have occasioned heavy losses to farmers there. NTV's Taita Taveta correspondent Bill Otieno went to the farm to find out more.
At the foot of Sagala Hills lies Kajire Village, an area that borders Savo East National Park. Kajire is a renowned area for hosting hundreds of elephants from Savo on many occasions annually. This pushed Abdurrahman Farouk to look for permanent solution to do away with the jumbos.
Kumetokea death, kumetokea damages, kumetokea accident, watu wameumizwa na ndovu, wengine wameuawa kwa sababu kushtuka. Hata recently kuna mama alitoka usiku akaona ndovu akaanguka na akaaga dunia. So tukaona ya kwamba ni afadhali nitafute mbinu ambayo inaweza tusaidia sisi na ikaweka wanyama hawa pia wakawa salama.
Elephant conservation efforts in the country has been bearing fruits, but the same elephants have been the source of pain for the people living along the national parks and the game reserves.
Nimekuwa nikilima kwa miaka tangu nije retire, nimekaa miaka 12, lakini napanda na ndovu ndio wamekuwa wakitutia hasara kila wakati wanakula hiyo. Lakini kukapatikana watu tukawaambiwa mizinga inaweza kuzuia ndovu. Sasa nikafuata huyu mwenye kuleta mizinga. Sasa ndio anatuletea mzinga ya kuzuia ndovu isizidi kuleta uharibifu katika shamba zaidi.
Abdurrahman and his team have helped farmers by installing more than 30 beehives in farms mostly raided by elephants.
Na nia yangu hasa ni kusaidia Taita nzima ili kila mahali tuwekee mizinga. Hapa Sagala, Kasigau, Bura, Mwaktau na Taveta. Tunataka hizi county zote ambazo they are neighboring Savo East and Savo West National Park tuwekee mizinga.
He also thinks of spreading his services to the rest of 3 sub-counties experiencing human-wildlife conflicts, hoping to give solutions to the problems faced by farmers in Taita Taveta. Bill Otieno, NTV, Voi.
Let's talk about a bit of politics now. And Senate Majority Leader Kipchumba Murkomen has dismissed calls for referendum to change the constitution to a parliamentary system of government, saying that it was only meant to benefit an individual. However, Murkomen said he supported change of the constitution to reduce baggage on Mwananchi. On his part, former presidential candidate Ekuru Aukot said that people were taking advantage of his calls for referendum of Punguza Mzigo to benefit themselves in calling for constitutional change to suit them to win the leadership. According to Baringo South MP Charles Kamoren, the constitution will remain the same until 2022. His sentiments were echoed by Susan Chesina, while the leaders were speaking at the home of former IBC Commissioner Thomas Letangule in Kabarak during the homecoming of his daughter, who was studying in London.
Nataka tuseme, we cannot all the time ukianguka from long time ago. Unasema tubadilishe katiba, tufanye namna hii. Tunataka referendum so long as itamfaidi Mkenya wa kawaida. Sisi hatutaki kusikia referendum ya watu ambao wanataka kubadilisha katiba yetu ati ndio waweze kuingia kwa serikali.
To tell those who are just running and trying to confuse Kenyans that we cannot be confused. We don't need to review this constitution.
Tunataka ile katiba yetu ya zamani, tuendelee na hiyo, tufanye kazi. Ile kitu inatakana ni kazi.
All right, let's cross over to Mombasa, where the Deputy President William Ruto is in Majaoni leading a government initiative in issuing title deeds there. He will thereafter proceed to Jomvu, where he'll also issue title deeds. Currently speaking is Aisha Jumwa, the Member of Parliament. Let's listen in.
Huyu Ruto ni mtegi wa nani hivi sasa? Manake tundo kwa waganga nsisi. Kawaida ya mganga huwa ako na mtegi wake. Kweli ama ni urongo? Akishaondoka yule mtegi anayetukua mikoba nani? Akishaondoka mganga anayetukua mikoba nani? Sasa akiondoka Uhuru Kenyatta mwenye mikoba yupi? Kwaherini.
Meliza. Mumemzikia mama ngangari eh? Sasa nataka nichukue nafasi hii na nataka tumkaribishe kinara wa wajumbe wote wa Pwani, mbunge wa Msambweni, Mheshimiwa Suleiman Dori. Karibu sana. Iko wapi nduru ya Dori jamani? Iko wapi? Haya, karibu mheshimiwa.
Asante sana. Haya, wana Majaoni hoye. Wana Majaoni hoye. Ni leo si leo. Mkono wa naibu wa rais uko wapi tuone? Mkono wa naibu wa rais uko wapi? Tumeshukuru watu wa Majaoni. Asante sana naibu wa rais. Mstahiki Governor wa Kwale County, wajumbe wenzangu ambao sote tumekuja hapa, mjumbe wa sehemu hii rafiki yangu Ali Mbogo, wakazi wa sehemu hii ya Kisauni, asalamu alaikum. Muko salama? Mimi nashukuru Mungu. Leo sisi tuko hapa Majaoni, tumefuatana na naibu wa rais ili kuja kuona vipi tutashikana na wananchi. Ndugu zangu wa kaunti hii ya Mombasa, eneo bunge la Kisauni, hii safari mimi nataka niwaambie ya kwamba hatuko na mikakati ya kufanya siasa. Safari zetu tumeshikana na naibu wa rais na viongozi wote wa Pwani ili kuona vipi sisi kama viongozi na serikali tutaweza kusaidia watu wetu. Naibu wa rais tumeketi naye kama viongozi wa Pwani, tukazungumza naye na tukamueleza shida za watu wa Pwani, na tukakubaliana pamoja na rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, mbali na wale weneo wanaojivuna kwambia siku hizi rais mimi rafiki yangu, kimpigia tu atafanya lolote. Sisi tunazunguka na hawa watu wawili ili kuhakikisha pwani nzima imefanyiwa kazi. Tulikuwa Tana River, tukaenda Malindi, jana tulikuwa Kwale pamoja na mstahiki gavana wetu, na leo tuko hapa Mombasa, na tukitoka hapa tunaenda Jomvu, kesho tutakuwa Taita Taveta. Masuala yote si masuala ya kisiasa, ni kuona vipi serikali iliyoko mamlaka ambao Wakenya wameikubali vipi itafaidi wapwani wetu. Hiyo ndio agenda tuko nayo. Yale mambo mengine ni wakati ukifika. Tunasema kazi kwanza, mengine baadaye. Kwa hiyo wapwani, mimi nataka nizungumze ama watu wa Mombasa ya kwamba hii majaoni haikuanza leo. Na sisi tunataka tushukuru ya kwamba katiba imeleta serikali za ugatuzi. Na huyu gavana wetu wa Kwale, sisi wajumbe wa Kwale tuko hapa tunafanya naye kazi karibu. Na tumehakikisha kila jambo ambalo limegatuliwa, yeye anahakikisha na sisi tunampa nguvu ili liweze kufanywa katika sehemu ile ya Kwale. Mambo na kinyume ya hapa kwenu, ya kwamba serikali za ugatuzi ziko na haki ya suala la ardhi. Leo ni vipi miaka ya 5 ya kwanza imepita, miaka 5 ya pili mpaka amechaguliwa Mbogo, ndio tumekuja kuona watu wa majaoni vipi watamiliki ardhi. Hii wazi inatuonyesha, ni ishara ya kwamba watu hawana malengo na wale wananchi wamewachagua. Malengo ni ya kibinafsi.
All right, live events there from Mombasa, where the Deputy President is currently leading coast leaders in distributing title deeds to Majaoni residents. There, speaking just a few moments ago, Sambweni MP Suleiman Dori, he had just pledged allegiance to the Deputy President and also saying there's no time for politics. He's also outlined their plan. Next, they'll be heading to Jomvu, and then tomorrow they'll be heading to Taita Taveta on the same mission of issuing title deeds to the residents there. Speaking of counties, West Pokot Governor John Lonyangapuo has cautioned politicians against politicizing the health sector as the county received assorted medical equipment and 10,206 prenatal vitamin supplements from the United States of America at Kapenguria County Referral Hospital. Now, this consignment is part of the Deputy Governor's Nicholas Atudonyang's project dubbed Saving Mothers to boost the health sector. This comes after West Pokot Governor John Lonyangapuo recently defended his deputy as he was grilled by the EACC over his deputy governor's absence.
A sign of hope for the health sector in West Pokot as new equipment was brought in. Lonyangapuo defended his deputy governor Nicholas Atudonyang, who is a neurosurgeon in the US, stating that it is through his help that the county was able to get the health boost.
Tukasema tutume vitu tuletewe na tumeletewa, na kuna wengi wako na wivu sana ati huyu Dr. Atudo ameenda nje, anakula mshahara, anakula vitu yenye saidi.
Lonyangapuo was forced to reshuffle his cabinet, relieving his deputy as the Health and Sanitation CEC. He further stated that 3 more containers of medical equipment are expected next week. He said the county has put in place mechanisms and strategies to solve the impending challenges in the health sector.
Hospitali yetu imeinuka kwa kiwango kwamba sasa hata kuna watu wanapata matibabu wanapoona wanarudi nyumbani kutoka hapa, wachache wanaenda kule.
Lonyangapuo alleged that the health institutions in the county have improved since he assumed office, adding that the county government has employed more health practitioners in different cadres to boost manpower in health facilities to minimize referrals, and people should stop using dirty politics. Helen Aura, NTV.
All right, beyond the borders now, more than 800 people have been reported dead following an earthquake that hit Indonesia on Friday, with rescue operations still underway.
The death toll in Indonesia has hit 832, according to the Indonesian Disaster Management Agency, even as the rescue team heightened operations with hopes of finding survivors trapped in the rubble of damaged buildings. Authorities say that more bodies could still be recovered. The rescue operation has, however, been slowed down by lack of heavy equipment and personnel, compounded by the closure of the nearest airport, which has forced the relief workers to make their way to the disaster-struck island by road. With the dozens injured and medical facilities totally damaged by the major earthquake and tsunami, the medical staff opted to attend to the dozens of wounded residents just outside the buildings. On Friday, a powerful earthquake hit the island of Sulawesi, consequently triggering a tsunami leading to a high number of deaths and causing immeasurable damage in the coastal city of Palu. The National Disaster Management Agency said that more than 2 million people were affected by the earthquake that has hit the biggest island in the world.
All right, time now for the sporting action with Brian Otual.